Hello, hello. Good morning. I mean, afternoon. Oh my gosh. Clearly, I feel like it's still morning because I'm in my pajamas. Who wants to come out and have a pajama party with me? Let me know. Are you in your pajamas too? Because why not? This is what we call the luteal phase. The phase just before the menstrual phase, when things start to really slow down and you just want to be comfy and cozy with blankets and heaters and all the things. So, welcome. Come hang out. Let's chat. And of course, I'll always be offering free readings, intuitive guidance, whatever we feel called, quantum healing, those kinds of things. So I just get really pumped and excited to be here with you all. Let me know who's here. Come hang out. We're live on YouTube. We're live on the Instagrams. It's really cool because YouTube, I can repurpose this. So if I've got some cool things to say, I can always share it later in some small clips. Do we want to get grounded? Let's get grounded as Instagram and everyone lets people know I'm here. Because I always get like slightly anxious, like, am I in the right space? Is this the right energy? Are these the vibes? Who's coming? I'm like, yeah, like, what do I want to say? I always had a vision prior to this work. I see myself live answering a lot of questions. I always visioned that before I had like the capability, the confidence, I guess you could say, to actually like do it. So I always saw myself doing it, and I truly think about it all the freaking time. I want to be here every day with you guys. I want to be sharing as much wisdom as I can that helps you bring lightness within your own body, your mind, your spirit, that brings you closer to your soul, that brings you closer to your higher self, that gets you on your highest timeline path. And this is the interesting thing. I was just listening to a girl, Ali Nympho, her podcast, amazing. It's called Unfuck Yourself. And she was really just saying, like, the highest self path is not the easiest. And I do agree with that. Like, yes, we do want to make things as easy as possible. We want to take the path of least resistance to our desires. I believe we can make it easy along the way if we get really good with energetics. And this is me, like, literally moving energy with my hands. And I see it because I see us as like these cosmic beings, these energetic beings. So there's like a frequency that you can like literally grab onto and like remove it. And I do this with intention. Sure, can you see the chords? Can you see the wavelengths? But I'm literally like, what can I take out of here to make it easier for me? So what I want to say in the topic of what she was saying is that yes, the path to your higher self isn't always the easiest. And I think this is where the gift really comes in, because the hardness through everything that we do is like the meat and potatoes. It's like that's the stuff you want. So like the things that are feeling like hard and challenging, that's the meat and potatoes in response to the wisdom that you're going to gain in the soul lessons and everything that you're here for. So it's like when we start seeing it at that angle, to me, that makes it easier. I'm like, oh, this is just the meat and potatoes of everything I want to learn all piled up into one, as frustrating it is. So I'm going to calm my energy, ground my nervous system, clear my emotions. Body, what are you willing to show me? What am I willing to see? What am I willing to move through? Makes sense? Let that drop in. Let's light some sage. And this is all, I did title this energetic facelift because something I noticed working with people, and even what other healers do, when we start clearing our energy fields, your face looks lighter, younger, more aligned, more symmetrical. We're not meant to be like perfectly symmetrical beings, but your face will shift. Like, have you ever seen someone shift physically when they drop in a new realization, a new thought pattern, a new way of being? It really is fascinating. I'm always like, when I see my clients again, I'm always like, you look younger. You look younger. It's like you either have like a glow to your face, maybe less visible lines, whatever it may be. So I am feeling so pumped and fired up. Let's just get grounded in. And of course, anyone joining in, let me know if you'd like card pull, energy reading, quantum healing. We will do all the things. And let's just get really grounded in to Mother Earth. Clearing any negative energies, negative emotions, any false light, distortions, anything blocking us from receiving truth. Clear that from our fields now. Calling in our higher selves, spirit team, being of light here to assist us. Bringing forth the highest information, service to the highest good. Whew, let's just release that from the field. And if you're staying with me, I invite you to release as well. This is such an invitation to slow down. The slower you go, the more everything falls into place. The slower you go, everything works out. The slower you go, the more presence you allow in. The slower you go, the more downloads come in. The slower you go, the more inspiration drops. The slower you go, the lighter you feel. It's such a powerful skill and muscle almost. That slowness muscle can be challenging in this world. Just like, immediately when I come on, I feel like I have to keep talking and entertain the whole time. Which I also love, but I'm also like, can we take the pressure off? Maybe everyone needs to slow down here. Can you smell the sage? Let me know. Okay. Energetic facelift. How do we even do that? And if we want to kind of dive into the topic of self-image, because everything, we've talked about this many times, everything in your external world is a representation of what's going on internally. And a lot of the challenges, maybe conflicts in relationships, the things that you don't love happening in your external world are typically happening because of a lower self-image. And, it could be a variety of things. It could be piled up guilt and shame over the years, over your personal experience. This could even be ancestral. This can be things that you carried from your mother line, father line, ancestral lines. You could absorb it here in this lifetime. You could have been vulnerable and susceptible to it. These all wreak havoc on your self-image, making things overall a little bit more challenging. So what I love to do, and what I'm actually still kind of figuring out how I can wrap this up in like a perfectly gifted present and how you can just like unlock this divine source level of positive self-image without all the work. And I mean, I'm presenting you the codes right now in the way that I speak, in my expression and in my voice. These are the codes. And as I speak them, I'm also seeing who I used to be and then who I am now. So I understand what it's like to not have the self-image piece, to be really insecure, to question everything I'm saying, to not trust myself, to feel like I have a purpose, but I'm not worthy enough to even share what that is. To have a lot of guilt and shame piled up, but also like unaware of the guilt and the shame. I think that's a big one. It's like we aren't actually consciously aware of all the guilt and the shame that we are holding within us that's piled up over time. We think we've released it, but like secretly we've actually suppressed it within our body. So it really is like bringing lightness to that area. So I invite you, if you're on this call right now, can we go into our center? Maybe closing your eyes, bringing your awareness into your own inner verse. Disconnecting from all the noise. This is an invitation for you to go inward within your own presence. Focusing on the space in the middle of your forehead, eyes closed. And simply just with intention asking Spirit, where am I holding any lower vibrational energies? And bringing awareness to that first thought, first feeling. Are you getting a ping within the body? Are you getting a sound? Are you getting a word, a feeling, emotion? Whatever that may be, body, spirit, can we move this energy out? Can we bring lightness to that area? Can we increase the lightness? 10%, 25%, 60%, 80%, 100%. You're literally working with the energetics, commanding your energy with intention. Visualizing that energy coming out in front of you, whether it's the emotion, the thought, feeling, whatever it is. Maybe it's just your intention. You have no idea even what it is. We're going to pull it out, bring it out in front of you into this little ball. And it doesn't matter how clear you see it, it's still there. You're going to visualize a ball of light coming down from the cosmos, reaching onto this energy. And as you witness it with so much love and compassion, like, oh my gosh, thank you for showing me this I was holding. Can we bring lightness to this bubble? We're going to visualize it getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until it completely dissipates into the ethers. Completely non-existent. Being transmuted, recycled within the cosmos. Let me know how you feel within your body now. And I'm going to clear out any remnants that maybe got missed. And as we do this, we bring this level of awareness. Sometimes our human or sometimes our soul wants to know why we carried it. And what I do is I intuitively just ask, body, do I need to know more? Do I need to know more? Sometimes it's no, sometimes it's yes. Because knowing more will help me get to a deeper layer. So as I've created lightness with myself in this process, this is just like one tiny thing that we can do. Do this over and over and over again. If you do this daily, if you do this multiple times daily, you're going to be like amazed. You're going to be like clear as a boss. You're going to be like moving through the world. Like all of a sudden you're going to be so much in your own energy. You're going to be like, how did I even get here? You're going to be like, because what I think about the opposite of that is you're always worried about what that person thinks, what that person thinks, and all those things, right? Some of us are so empathic that we can't help but hear the thoughts of other people. There's a good and the bad in that. There's like a superpower skill. There's a supernatural skill with that. Amazing, epic. But then there's also when you're so empathic from a wounded angle, it starts to absorb into your energy field and take over. And then you're like completely powerless. We want to be in our power states when we're completely filled up by source energy, that these thoughts don't overtake us. So it's being able to discern whether these are mine or theirs. And you do this by creating lightness within your body. And I want you to see like effervescent light just like filling up your whole being. This type of energy also regenerates cells, heals like the physical elements within your body too. So sometimes when we do this work, we can see instant shifts. We could take 24 to 48 hours. You can see physical things just completely dissipate, not even be an issue. I did a video just recently, just a random reel talking about, the energetic meaning behind my sore hamstring, my toes, and like what's really going on there. Because how I understand and believe everything to be from this line of work. And again, I also want to invite you just to like, when you hear me speak, use your own discernment to feel what's true within you, because this is not a projection. This is just how can I make you feel lighter, more excited, more confident within yourself. And these theories and ideas really help me with that. So when I understand like physical ailments actually come from the energetic space. So energetically something happened and then it physically manifested. So it wasn't actually like I just hurt my toes. It was like something going on energetically, emotionally, that then leaked into the physical realm. Because I think of all these layers of dimensions, right? So sometimes looking at the physical element or the physical issue and being like, well, what is the purpose of this physical part of my body? So like the purpose of, say, my hamstring is that, it supports me in getting back up. It's really like that support system when it comes to like getting up or moving forward. And then also it's on the right side of my body. So this would be like the masculine energy. So how I would see this is, so for example, I can bend down, but when I get up, it's a little bit trickier. And what I was doing until this like thought dropped in was I was putting so much pressure to put equal effort into both. Like I was putting so much pressure on the right side just as I was the left side because I was like, well, how do I even out the muscle? I'm like, I need to balance it out. Like, let's put just, and it was actually hurting more. It actually wasn't helping. It's not healing. I feel like stretching is doing nothing either. So I was like, oh, interesting. I'm putting so much pressure on this masculine way when this is actually not what I'm needing right now. I'm needing to be like supported more in the actionable things within the expression of my life, whatever you want to tie that to, so that my feminine can shine through a little bit more. So, how can I actually allow my feminine to shine through? Take a little bit of the pressure off, allow my right side to be supported. So now when I'm getting up, I can feel it feels so much lighter on my right side. Does that make sense? And and then also, we want to do the physical things that help. There's always like that physical aspect. So yes, the whatever is going to make your body feel so much better, whether that's like exercise, diet, the stretching, the yoga, things that are going to do all this, like massage. I have a massage today and I'm so freaking pumped. I've been like waiting months for it because she's my favorite girl and she's always so booked up. So these will all help in massage. Oh my god, I just see it like as because you're like really putting pressure on the fascia points that like fascia itself holds a lot of emotion. So I almost say like even a massage you may experience an emotional release because they're actually like putting pressure on these suppressed emotions that like land within the body over time. So it's such an epic release. So feeling extra tired, extra emotional after a massage, so totally normal, still part of the process, releasing the energetics. So giving yourself that time and space if that's something you experience. So anyone who is coming on live, I do invite you, if you would like a reading, quantum healing, a card pull. But what I'm thinking I might do a collective card pull to end here. And yeah, I think that feels the most aligned because I feel like, I really just wanted to hit a little bit of that spot and not go too much into detail. And I would love to know whoever watches the replay, if this landed and you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. I wasn't really seeing it from that point of view. All right, collectively, what would be so supportive to know? We're going to work with the Lyran Oracle right now. The Lyran family. Oh yeah, this one just completely popped out. Let's just take a look at this card. I love how I was just talking about like the frequency blueprints, the wavelengths. Like this is like kind of how I'm seeing energy a little bit. I don't see it always necessarily as numbers and codes, but this is like talking about sacred geometry. So this card says finances increase, sacred geometrics, and spiritual science. What I'm picking up on this, it would be helpful to know, is that often the human perspective as we sees ourselves as physical beings where I can only get from here to there, and scientifically it doesn't make sense for me to move through the doorway without opening the door. It's like we've got these limitations in place, we've got these constructs, the way that the human mind perceives the physical world. There's a lot of like obstructions or obstacles in the way. This is kind of showcasing how things are very, very movable, and how I was kind of explaining in the beginning. I was like, literally, I pluck energy out. I pluck it out. The more you play with this and allow yourself to recognize the other dimensions, and I understand how mind-boggling this can be. If you're really, really new to this world, the best thing that's going to support you is quieting the mind, getting into meditation. I remember, I think at one point in my life, interestingly enough, I was slightly atheist, very, very, very long time ago. But it was like always, it was hard to believe in anything beyond. And And then I got to a point in my life where I'm like, I know there's something bigger, but I had no idea. There was like, I feel like I could go into so many stories. But I remember back in 2008 was a mini awakening. Then 2016 was another mini one where I was like, I absolutely knew that interstellar travel was possible. And I was like researching as much as I could, but there was like nothing in this physical world that was presenting itself. And I'm like, I just know it exists, but there's nothing here that I can like speak on. And then I kind of dropped it for years and years and years. And then again, my like full on cellular spiritual awakening happened in 2020. But what I'll say that in between all that, I got this like intuitive hit to meditate for 3 minutes a day. And I remember I used to meditate for just 3 minutes only before I left for work. Got ready, cars running, I just meditate for 3 minutes. That was very catalytic for this. It always felt like mini steps. Like I was always like, I felt like I was still like 1,000 steps behind where I wanted to be, but it was always like that mini piece. And then it got deeper. And then I think years later, I was meditating with crystals and I always had an amethyst in my hand. And then all of a sudden, I was like really sensing things on a deeper level. It was like, oh, there's more going on here. And then you start practicing that muscle, and then you kind of like start to get like the psychic information to really come through, and it becomes a little bit more tangible. You feel like a little less crazy. But this card is really showing me we can move energy so much more. So like finances increase feels like a big one because this is such a sticky one right now. I think in the collective with everything that's going on, we're being like, we're being like stretched completely, in the sense that like what being stretched financially means, in my opinion, how can you look at the way that you spend money, the way that you use money, the way that you value money a little bit differently? How can we even look at abundance differently? I've had like a recent download as well. It's like it's so easy to get sucked into consumerism. Oh my gosh, so easy. And it's so fun. It's so luxurious. It's such a moment. It's such an experience. I love shopping. And then I start to get really, really, really overwhelmed with the accumulation of things. I'm like, oh, I really, really, really don't like this. So how can we like still honor our values and still spend money in a way that feels luxurious and abundant, but like doesn't like impede that value of like overconsumption and getting lost in the projections and the comparisons and the ideas of everything else? So I always feel like when money feels constricting, it's such an invitation to look at things a little bit different in terms of your values and how you use value and see money and spend money and all those things. Does that make sense? So really, again, coming back to energy is so movable in a lot of ways. And what my favorite way and technique to do that is really just commanding to the body. So whatever it is, if there's a realization I want to have, if there's an energy I want to move, body, spirit, move this, body, spirit, show me this. Sometimes it takes 24 hours to fully land in. Because you know how we're always kind of stuck in the how? I want this, but like how? I want this, but like how? Like, we do kind of want to disconnect from the how because we really won't know the how if our mind is spirally, overwhelmed, there's a lot of chaos, if our nervous systems are overloaded. The how is going to feel like the worst thing in the world. So can we get calm and centered for 3 minutes, pose the question, and allow the universe to present us the answer within 24 to 48 hours? I love doing this before you go to sleep. Before that dream state, you can get a lot of downloads come in. It's an invitation for your energetic body to be restructured and revitalized and all the things. So I hope you found this helpful, supportive. Let me know. You can DM me, you can comment on the replay, and I will see you all next time.